Dr. Laura Waters is joining us now. She's a pediatrician at Mercy, and today we're talking about toys. Good morning. Thanks for being here. So with shopping season here, we are shopping for kids, and we always think toys. I have a niece and a nephew I'll have to be shopping for. What are some tips you have for us as we go looking for those gifts, and specifically toys?
So I know a lot of parents and different people will try and buy, the latest, greatest thing for kids. And a lot of things, honestly, kind of go back to the basics. So choosing toys that are kind of going to grow with kids, things like, stuffed animals, dolls, cars and trucks, those toys are timeless. And kids always enjoy playing with them. Choosing toys that are going to be, that are going to enhance some of their problem solving skills like puzzles, shape sorters, even Play-Doh, kind of creating different things and molding and making things that use their imagination, like dress up things, really encouraging a lot of that interaction, because a lot of times the more that the toy does for the child, the less educational it is and the more kind of entertaining it is. So the more that your child does with the item, the better it is for the kid, because they're actually learning through their play.
Yeah, that's one of the things you said, that the more a toy does, the less the child has to. So it's more entertaining than it is educational.
Yeah.
And why is it important for kids to have toys that are more educational, more interactive, like you said, Play-Doh, where they have to use their imagination?
So a lot of kids actually learn a lot through play, and play is one of the most important things in childhood, and I think we underplay it a little bit because I think we're so focused on making sure kids are constantly learning, and a lot of learning can happen in play and make it fun to where you don't really realize kind of what they're doing. So, and also just that interaction. I think one of the most important things that you can do with your kid is get them involved with their toys and play with them. And so, getting down on the floor and letting them kind of, use their blocks to make a road or to make it a train and move it along, and just using things in a variety of different ways, even using toys that are real life, their own toy kitchens or their own toy sets that are like tools, so that they can play with dad out in the garage, or they can play with mom in the kitchen, or, or vice versa, I guess.
Yeah.
And so, different things that I think are going to simulate a lot of that. Kids enjoy playing, and, and it doesn't always have to be electronic, and it doesn't always have to be screen time. So I think, getting back to some of the basics, even just, the big giant boxes that they open on Christmas, they enjoy playing with for so long. So I think, taking it back to the basics, and also making sure that you're spending time playing with your kids, and allowing them plenty of time to play and that sort of thing isn't going to be important.
So even toys like board games, you were talking about interactive, something they can play with the family too.
Yeah.
And those social interactions. You mentioned real stuff in your notes, and I thought of, you're talking about kitchen and things like that. I thought of the boxes and even empty water bottles, or things they find in the kitchen that sometimes parents are like, I spent all this money on toys, and you want to play with the pans and things like that. But that's healthy too, right?
It is. Because, Tupperware is one of the best toys ever, because they, end up stacking, they put things in, they take things out. Because there's a lot of learning of, how do things fit inside of each other. So that's puzzling, that's problem solving, that's, what lid goes on what. And just the interaction of it, and building and stacking creates some of those fine motor skills as well. So, even some of those things that you have around the house that you don't think are toys are some of the best toys, actually. So.
Yeah, they make it toys.